question that I should be asked, but I never am. And you know what that question is? Kyle, what's the true meaning of diversification? Now, if we go back to the other video that I did before, where we talked about compound interest, just because you've heard of it, so people have heard of diversification, I'm sure you have as well, right? Now, diversification can either mean macro, meaning large or massive diversification across different areas, or micro diversification. And I believe when I sit and have conversations with clients and have in-depth conversations, their meaning or understanding of diversification is very narrow. Okay? So again, if we're going to be entering into the spending phase, I need to help you adopt a new definition of diversification. So let me first help you understand what the prevailing thought of diversification really is, right? So first, let's take you to the fact, I want to take you to two things that everyone's doing, right? So pretend these two tanks, you're filling up these two tanks to use, these two pots of money are going to be used for you to support your lifestyle and retirement. So one tank is a risk tank, the other tank is a safe tank, okay? Now, when it comes to diversification, at least the prevailing thought of it, is that when I think of risk, I think that you could potentially lose your principal, you could lose money after you made a gain. So we're going to go over to a risk tank, and we're talking about stuff that's market dependent, okay? Right? It's market dependent. And the idea of diversification over here in the prevailing thought is, okay, instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, put it in, so instead of one basket, put it in mini baskets. And one of my clients, and this isn't me, one of my clients actually came in the office a couple of days ago, and he says, you know what diversification is when you're thinking about the risk tank, Kyle? I go, what is that? And he says, when the market goes down, instead of losing money in one area, you lost money in 9 or 10 areas, or however many areas you were diversified, right? Has that been your experience? Well, let me give you this new definition since we're transitioning over into the spending phase, right? So if we go into the spending phase, here's what I want you to understand. I'm going to give you a fresh piece of paper here so it can be very clear. Now here's what the spending phase is all about. When you get in the spending phase, diversification this is new definition now. Not that the current one is a bad one. That's a good one too. Let me give you a new one though. Guaranteed versus non-guaranteed money. Right? How diversified are your income sources? Which part of your income sources in retirement are guaranteed? How have you ever asked the question, how much money do I absolutely need coming in so I can enjoy my lifestyle? Okay, let's look at another part of the definition of diversification, right? So we got guaranteed versus non-guaranteed. So what's our other one? What's your tax diversification? Right? What's your tax diversification? How much of your money's coming in and being taxed the full boat, the ordinary income? How much of your money's tax-free or tax-advantaged? Right? So we've got to diversify the income sources from a tax perspective. Have you given that some thought? We already talked about in one of my other videos why tax diversification is literally, for many people, especially my clients, the game changer on how much money they get to spend in retirement versus what they thought was going to happen. Okay, so here's just a really quick definition to help you understand what diversification means in the spending phase of retirement. Okay, so remember, no pressure, no obligation. I'm just a phone call away.